Hi Pisces, here's a general look at your solar chart for October 2008. Well, here we have an insightful, transformational month when you should allow your mind to think deeply and intuitively, but at the same time, externally, physically, push the boundaries of your world into new areas. So you'll be monitoring what's going on, but it looks like you should be seeing the bigger picture. So there's a feeling of expansion and renewal and rebirth. But first of all, you may have to come up against the brick wall of the status quo. And this is where your intuition is going to help you, because you're going to see how to change that. Or in fact, maybe fate or destiny could change it for you, could change it on your behalf. Especially for Pisceans born mid-month, you've got a very strong Uranian energy, which is perhaps picking you up in a mini cyclone and twirling you round and setting you down in a place which is definitely not Kansas. Under the spotlight this month is something shared with somebody else, and there may be money, property, some kind of joint undertaking involved, but it could touch your emotional buttons, and you'll be working on it, discussing it, weighing up the pros and cons, maybe in negotiations with someone. Things could go a little bit slowly until the 15th of the month, because Mercury is going retrograde, then going backwards. But then from the 15th, when Mercury goes forwards, then you're going to be like all systems go, and things will just start to speed up there, and you'll feel that you've got the green light. So during the time up until the 15th, perhaps that will give you the opportunity to see the hidden side of things, look at something more deeply. And there could be some intense exchanges at times. Feelings are involved, and someone could irritate you. But this go slow until the 15th could serve you well if you can be patient and just be with that. So there could be hold-ups, delays, crossed wires, misunderstanding. Just, stay calm and be with that, because everything starts to move forward after the 15th. That's when this energy is released, and you can get on each other's wavelength maybe more easily. So if this is a business thing, okay, all well and good, but also romance is in the air for some of you as well, perhaps connected to a foreigner or somebody from a very different background to you. And once again, there is this maybe a little bit of angst going on up until the 15th of the month. Yeah, and when Venus moves on the 19th of the month, then you're likely to get the full backing and support of people who are in positions of power and authority, people who can really help you. Now, maybe you need to ask the question of yourself, am I asking for too much? Am I overstretching myself? Am I taking on board too heavy a load? Taking the long view of things. It's pretty definite you will get the support and advice you need this month from friends and colleagues, and also people in high places as well. That's after the 19th. And so that will mean that your choices are going to be informed ones, and you'll be able to broker a good deal, or somebody will be working on your behalf, and you're going to be forewarned and forearmed. You're going to get good tip-offs. You're going to get the hidden story, but you've got to be patient, and you've got to be open to it, and you've got to ask, but it is all there for you. So don't hesitate to consult an expert in their fields, or somebody just more savvy than you. Somebody's got the eagle eye view. An astrologer would be good. But you know what, Pisces, you don't ever need really somebody to help you with your intuitive hunches because they're so good. All you need is confirmation of kind of what you know already. Now, Saturn has been opposing your sign now for over a year, and there's about a year of this to go. This inclines you to get more serious about relationships across the board. So working relationships can teach you a great deal and are very much in harmony with your inner self. Relationships where the pair of you are pulling very hard towards the same goals in life. That's what you're scouting around for now. You feel like making a long-term commitment. This is the nature of Saturn in your partnership house this year and next year, for most of next year, Pisces. And this means that you're willing to start working harder at relationships, close relationships, understanding that compromise is necessary to keep the equilibrium in a close relationship. Casual love relationships simply don't cut it anymore for you now, Pisces. Well, I don't think so anyway, not from what the astrology is showing me. Also, those close to you on a friendship level, you know, this is another kind of close relationship. These get scrutinized by you now and are weighed on the scales, and if they're found wanting, if they're too light, if they're too superficial, I don't mean light as in, you know, uplifting and joyous. I mean just too lightweight, too superficial. They leave you feeling underwhelmed, unsatisfied, not in the least bit impressed, whereas before they just kind of seemed okay. So deep, long-lasting friendships are what are in the pipeline now for you, Pisces, and you will draw those sorts of people to you. This is what you're going to be preferring. You're going to be preferring quality, not quantity now, Pisces. Okay, so Pluto. Well, I must just mention that because Pluto has been at a certain angle to your sign now for nearly 13 years, and that for you, Pisces, has meant an overhauling of your idea of what you want to do for your profession in life, and may have led you up many a blind alley. Also, life goals may have changed a lot over that 13-year period. If you look back 13 years down the line and see how different you are in your thinking on those things, yes, just call it life experience, but it is particularly in that area of life goals. Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, it's also the planet of extremes, so you may have found yourself getting compulsively involved in one set of life goals, almost obsessively, you know, in a workaholic kind of way, pulling in one direction, and then after some months or maybe a couple of years, there's this deep shift that's happened, which renders you less than impressed and convinced that maybe Plan B had been the right way to go in the first place. So there's definitely been big changes in this area here, life direction, life goals, profession, career over the last 13 years, or just about the last 13 years. But by the end of November, this energy is leaving that area of your chart. Pisces who have birthdays right at the end of the sign will be feeling it the most at the moment. But then after November, oh joy, you get to consolidate after all that, all those power struggles and all those blind alleys. You get to consolidate what you really want to do at last. So Pisces, are you ready? You've got a little bit more time. It'll be 2009 that you really start to pull things together, but yeah, are you ready? Well, that's it for October. If you know your rising sign, have a listen to that too.